So I have Sam and Alicia from Color of Fashion, the founders of Color of Fashion, in the building. How y'all doing, ladies?
Good.
Morning.
Cold.
Good morning.
Cold?
It is
I know
cold.
we're finally getting fall, I think, right?
Yeah.
That is not fall. That's winter. So.
No?
I know, we be skipping seasons out here.
Yeah.
We straight jump. So let's let the listeners know, Color of Fashion, what is it? Who are you guys? How'd you come about? All the good stuff.
Yeah. You want me to start that?
Yes, you should.
So in 2021, basically when the pandemic hit, me and Sam, we kind of just put our brain cells together and decided that we wanted to do something that was different out here because we have battled so much discrimination in the industry, just being models and creatives of color, and we were fed up at that point. And everybody during the pandemic was, they were
ready to do something.
They were like, we
so.
got to do something. So
Yeah.
that was just when we had the time, and we really felt like we got to do this. If we don't do it, if we're not the change, then who's going to do it out here?
For
Exactly.
Sure.
I mean, it came natural to us because we were already in the scene and we already knew what needed to be changed. So it was perfect timing for us to come up with Color of Fashion.
Yeah.
What we didn't know is how
Yeah, right?
or how much we would struggle and the work and everything that comes with a business, of course. So we were like very excited at the beginning, and we
Yeah.
were like, we can do that. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
we still think we can do it, but it's just so much more that comes with putting on what we do and
Yeah.
wanting to be different takes so much effort and financially, mentally, everything.
Yeah.
The world of fashion is its own beast, for one. And then you got the Colorado fashion scene. And then Sam, I'm picking up an accent, so let's talk about that. You know, your background a little bit, and just that melting pot of all of that. Just
Yeah.
what is this accent for one?
It's Haitian. I don't know,
Okay.
probably not, but I was born in Haiti. I lived in Haiti for 15 years. When I was 15, I moved to Chicago. So to Chicago, I went to high school and college, and through college, and I ended up here in Colorado. So.
And
Yeah,
Vail, of all
and
places.
Vail,
And Vail.
yes.
Oh,
Don't be
yeah.
leaving that out.
Yeah, that's a different dynamic altogether.
It is definitely different. From Chicago to Vail was like definitely the culture shock. Well, another culture shock from Haiti to Chicago was the first one. But it was for school, so I was like, I'm just gonna toughen out the 3 months for my internship, and then I ended up staying 4 years. So.
Wow. Wow. And then Alicia, you're from here?
No, I'm not from here either. So
Where you
that's
from?
another dynamic that Color Fashion brings because we have so much experience outside of the state. But I was born in South Carolina and raised in Cali.
Got it.
So yeah.
It's
We
a
are
big
not from
boiling
here.
pot of different experiences and cultures that y'all all brought
Exactly.
to Denver.
Yes.
So let's just talk about the fashion scene here a little bit and just some of your experience and what you've seen, grown through, gone
Yes.
Do we have a fashion scene here?
Oh my goodness.
Now we do.
through. Now you do.
It's just when we first got into it out here, there wasn't shows like this, and there weren't people like us representing.
Right.
And so we kind of got in where we could get in. And after a while, you kind of open your eyes because in the beginning you're excited. You just do it. You're like, oh, this is cute, and I want to be involved. And
Exactly.
then after years, you start realizing, like, first of all, I wasn't treated right here. Like, I've been on sets where they don't want to touch my hair. And I got gorgeous hair. Let me just say that. But I've been in those situations. Like they don't want to touch our skin. They don't really want to mess with us.
They don't know how to deal with it, so they just be like, I'm not gonna touch it at all because I don't know how to do it.
Right.
And it was very painful to watch other models having their makeup done properly, having their hair done properly, and they just sent us out just like the peasants, you know.
Right. Right.
Because they was afraid.
They were afraid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even gonna try. I'll just leave it as is. So that was.
And then the fashion itself, we really weren't finding that anybody was stepping outside the box. We didn't have an upscale avenue either. So everything was like either street style, which street style has its own avenue, but there's another way to demonstrate that on the runway and in fashion shows. And then we have like where people are showcasing boutiques left and right. And, we're trying to bring the real fashion. We're trying to really make this, a business, and we're trying to bring out designers who are actually putting in the work. They're making their clothing. This is original stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. So it takes time, and that's another reason why we want to be here, because we're trying to cut that time out for people.
Absolutely. Yes. And it's definitely possible. Like, as I was saying earlier, it just take a lot of effort, a lot of work, and wanting to work with us. So we want, and the idea behind Color Fashion as well is to bring people together. We want to work with, creatives around the city, around the states. That's what we're here for. Yeah. We all have a different idea we can bring to the table, and we just open to just be open, working with anybody with the right ideas. So we just.
I love it. I see the movement moving, and I'm loving what you're doing out here. Let's talk about some upcoming events, what you guys got going on.
Thank you, first of all.
You just missed the big season.
I know. So we did just close up our season 4.
Yes.
Which was like the last week of September.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Ooh.
Yeah. That's crazy. So we typically host our shows annually in September. That's our big annual showcase. This last season was our first time doing a 4-day event. Mm-hmm. Typically we host 2 days. So the full year is preparation for our next season.
Exactly.
Season 5.
In between, we do smaller things.
Yeah, so we do tons of lead-up events. That's when we really want to be heavy in the community and try to get everybody involved. And also we really are outgoing people just as human beings.
Right.
So we want to get out there and start talking to people and, get everybody really
involved.
Activated.
Like, what does it take to get the community involved with Color Fashion? Because we are here to make a difference, and we can't do it by ourselves. It has to be all of us. And I know people are slow to change in Colorado. I've seen it. So we're just hoping that they'll just want to be a part of this.
Well, you're doing what's necessary. Y'all laying the foundation. Like I said, we see it, and I'm sure the listeners out there, if they're not aware, they will be. So let them know how they can find you, how they can follow you, keep up with what you got going.
Yes. So the biggest way you can follow and stay up to date with us is on Instagram at color.of.fashion. That's where we're posting almost daily. We have an amazing marketing manager. She does a great job making sure that our followers are up to date. But we also, as far as our events go, we typically try to have something every month. So we would suggest that
posting.
you stay in touch with us on Instagram. And
turn your notification on or something.
Yeah, right. Don't miss it. And we also communicate and respond to anything. So if you DM us, you'll get a response. If you email us, you'll get a response. We have a phone number. If you text us, we text them back. We're out here to be open and welcome everybody in. So
that's fire. Color of Fashion. I appreciate you all.
Thank you so much for having us.
No